especially at the end of summer. So I usually do this, but not as detailed as this. Obviously I can't do my own back, so it's sort of a nice thing to do before getting in the shower. For the purposes of ASMR, I've embellished this treatment. So I'm starting off by using baby wipes just to take any excess dead skin and oils and daily grime from the back. Gently ice wipe up and down the back, paying attention to any specific grooves in the skin made by the physique. And then I'm going to take some cotton pads. Any type of cotton pads would do. To be honest, you could probably just still use a baby wipe for this part, or even just your hands. But I always find if I just use my hands, that they tend to go a little bit numb at the end of it, just from all of the exfoliating beads. So what I'm using here is a argan oil based exfoliator, and I was given this as a Christmas gift. It's from a local shop here, I forget the name. It's obviously September now, so I've had that for a little while. I don't use it very often because I find it very difficult to maintain any colour in my skin. So obviously exfoliating gets rid of any tan that I have, but it's an amazing exfoliator. The exfoliating beads aren't made of plastic, which is really bad for the environment. It's made of crushed argan shells, the kernels of the nut. And I think there's walnut in there as well. I'll have to check that on the packaging. And so I've just got the 2 cotton pads, and I've applied enough of the exfoliating mixture, and I'm just going to do circular movements all down the subject's back. And what this will do is it'll start taking off the top layer of the epidermis, all the dead skin particles and the stuff that's blocking your pores and stopping oxygen getting to your skin. And what it's also doing is the massaging movements will be stimulating the skin, which will bring blood closer up to the skin through the capillaries, which is moisturising the skin, it makes it easier to take off. You can also use argan oil on your face and your neck and on delicate areas of skin, which is quite good. You only really need a few drops because it goes a really long way. So even though my bottle was quite expensive, it does last quite a long time, unless you're using on your hair, obviously. When you use it on your hair, it makes it a lot softer and silkier and shinier. So what I usually do is I get in the bath and I wash my hair in the morning if I'm having a day at home, especially in the winter, because I'm not doing so much in the winter. I'm not going to the beach and things. And what I do is get out of the bath and then put some of that through my hair. And I usually mix it with a little bit of coconut oil because I love that as well. And I leave it in for, I don't know, as long as I don't need to wash it out again. So I do all of my daily chores and all kinds of things really in it. Sometimes pop down to the supermarket and at the end of the day washing out your hair will be amazing. You can buy lots of different products with it in as well. Just look up argan oil products. There's lots of different shampoos now and conditioners and hair treatments and things like that. And what it helps my hair with is it tames my frizz, because my hair's quite dry and brittle. It makes it look really good. You can also use it as a sort of styling aid. It's quite good before you blow dry, just to put a little bit in your palms of your hand and rub your hands together and run your fingers and palm through your hand. It makes my hair a lot sleeker and easier to do things with. So as you can see now, I've given up with the cotton pads and I'm using my hands a little bit. Just makes the application easier and it's easier to massage with. And now I'm going to start the process of taking off all of the dead skin and debris from the application of the argan oil exfoliation. And for this I'm using baby wipes. It's obviously easier to use a shower head, but for the purposes of an ASMR video, I've decided to go the hard route, but it does take quite a long time, unfortunately. A lot of people say that argan oil is an anti-aging product and that it can improve the elasticity, can't say that word, of your skin. So it's quite good with stretch marks. If you're pregnant or you've had dramatic weight loss or gain and you've got weight, stretch marks, then application of argan oil is suggested. I didn't actually use that when I was pregnant, but next time I shall. It's also really good with scars. If you're antioxidants, which helps heal damaged skin cells and reduce inflammation. Antioxidants are really good for applying to your skin. Anything that's irritated, cracked, damaged, or even burned. I used it on sunburn and it was really, really good. It speeds up the healing. Sorry about the noise. So now I'm again sort of soapy washing my Semtex back just to get the rest of the beads off. Or the beads, but the crushed kernels. Like I said, it takes a little while. They get very stuck on because all of the oil's been absorbed into the skin. Another thing that you can use argan oil for, which I've done in one of my videos, is nail treatments and hand treatments. So because it softens the skin so quickly, it's really good for cuticles and ideal for brittle nails and dry hands, and for those of you who suffer from the hard skin on the bottom of your feet. It both moisturises and softens it, and if you sort of apply regularly, it will really aid healing that up. You should apply a few drops of it to your cuticles, your hands and your feet before you go to bed, and let it work its wonder while you're asleep. It's also an ideal lip moisturiser, especially in cold or dry weather, where lips can easily become sore, dry and cracked. It's the ideal product to ensure that lips stay plump and soft and supple, and you only need a little bit. So I'm just getting to the last stages now of taking off the argan oil. There's quite a lot left on, believe me. You can't see it, but it is near on impossible to take off without being in the shower. As I said, it's quite a long process. My subject, I'm sure, is probably getting quite uncomfortable at this used to use quite a few. I had one before by a company called Clinique, and I just remember putting it on my face, and the alcohol in it would immediately sort of sting and evaporate, and I was thinking this can't be good for you. But lots of people only have a simple routine. You sort of wash or dry and then you're done, maybe moisturise, but there are several other ways to do it as well. And I think if you've seen any of my tutorial videos, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. At the moment I'm applying the toner all over his back just to again clean the rest of the skin off and get rid of the debris that's left over. Like I said, a lot of people think that just a wash and a dry, maybe some moisturiser isn't enough. And if you wish that your pores were a little bit tighter, then adding a toner to your daily regimen would probably be the perfect solution for you. I don't have oily skin, so I don't deem it necessary. A lot of people don't use toners because they've heard that it dries out your skin, and there's quite a lot of confusion around the whole name of toner because it's also applied to several different products. So what a skin toner does. So traditional toners consist of moisturisers, some oils and some extracts that help soothe your skin, and astringents, which are generally alcohol based, which I mentioned earlier with the Clinique one that I used. Tightens the skin and pores and removes oil quite efficiently. Fresheners, however, work quite similarly to astringents, but by tightening the skin. But they're made of things like caffeine and green tea extracts instead of alcohol, which I think is better for your skin. They're a lot more natural. And so the thing is, that's why there's quite a lot of confusion in regards to toners and the name of toner because they all fall under the same umbrella. So my final step of our back regime today is to use my favourite product in the whole entire world, which is coconut oil. And I can promise you this, I don't know a better smell than frying onions in coconut oil. It's amazing. So what I'm just doing here is I'm applying some of the coconut oil to the top of my subject's back, and it's a divine oil. When you buy it, I'm not sure which stores in other countries you buy, but in France you buy it from the health food shops, and it's in a pure form, so it's completely natural, so there's no chemicals or additives to it, and it can be used inside and out. And I use it both in my cooking. There is nothing like the smell of onions and coconut oil, it's amazing. And I also use it on my hair and on my skin. And I've just started a new process called oil pulling, which is basically a dental regime, although I'll probably talk to you a little bit more about that in a future video, as I intend to do one on coconut oil. When you buy